I want to know how the hell people in Canada are even living.
How are Canadians living? They're living in debt. They're living in denial. They're begging, borrowing, asking for loans. We're living on credit. We're living in a society that is not paying salaries that are commensurate with inflation. And it's a bad situation, I think. I complained about it. I've been complaining about it. And don't get me started about skyrocketing rent, skyrocketing groceries. I'm paying $8 for butter. $8 for butter? So much so that I wrote my representative a letter. God. The candidates, quite frankly, leave to be desired. But I vote. And that's about as political as I get. But I've been so frustrated with the way things are going with this economy that I literally sat down and composed a letter, and I emailed that letter to my local representative. Will they respond? Who knows? But at this point, I feel like, short of walking into a grocery store and stealing what I want, my voice needs to be heard somehow. There are solutions. Solutions exist. Government needs to be committed to those solutions. Government and us as a people need to demand solutions. Canadians were some of the most passive people on the planet. I mean, if this were Europe, everything would be on fire. I mean, God, things are on fire right now. But that's a natural disaster. If we had the European mindset, the city would burn. I say all that to say this, that Canadians are, what are we doing to live? We are existing. We are existing.
What if this is our last normal Christmas?
Finally, somebody said it. What if this is our last normal year? Really? And, I know I stitched the beginning of her video, but there's a part where she mentions about the financial aspect of this holiday season. That's it. I finished Christmas in October. All of my shopping was done, but that's it. The stockings will remain empty, but that's it. I might put some stuff in my son's stocking, but be mostly like some candy items or something. But yeah, you don't want to know what I spent. For just there being that little amount underneath my tree this year, you don't want to know what I spent. It's insane. It is absolutely astronomically insane. That tree should be like filling out into the street if it was 1990 for what I spent this year on presents for my son. I'll see y'all on the flip side.
In this video, this guy says that all of this food in this cart cost $81 back in...
One thing of meat in Texas, Angus beef.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
They're in debt. The majority of people aren't in debt. Mortgage underwriter here for the past 17 years, and I review people's income, assets, and credit. The amount of debt load that people carry is very high. Also, another thing is, please note that sometimes people who look like they are the wealthiest and have the most material things, boats, expensive vacation, luxury, everything, are the people that are in the most amount of debt and on the brink of losing it all or bankruptcy. And the people that sometimes have the most simple life, use cars, use clothes, or they don't look like anything extraordinary or glamorous, are the people that have the most wealth accumulated and saved. But aside from that, just from reviewing and currently reviewing loans, I also looked at a study in the Federal Reserve Q2 of 2023, and they reported that total American household debt was at $103,000 and $103,358 for Q2 of 2023 for total household debt. And the average used auto payment was $528. The average monthly new car payment was $729. And the average amount of debt per individual was $6,358. These figures are very high, and it is no surprise how some people are struggling right now to make ends meet, even if they have high incomes. So please don't ever feel like you are behind, because sometimes people that may look like they have a glamorous life may be in a worse position than people that don't have that. You are not behind in life, and it is hard for many people, even with a dual income or high income, to make ends meet, be able to save and plan ahead. So follow for more.
Potato.
Finally, a shopping haul I can get behind, that I can get behind. A couple days ago, my For You page was just full of these rich white women complaining about how much they were getting for the amount that they're spending in grocery stores, expensive grocery stores like Sobeys and Safeway. They're coming home and they've got a shitload of food for what they paid for, and it's all name brand stuff and it's non-essential stuff, and they got a lot of shit, and they don't seem grateful for it. Yes, inflation has hit people. Yes, it's affected everybody, but you need some self-awareness when you're doing a grocery haul and realize, what exactly you're doing, who you're showing, what you're showing, how ungrateful you're coming off as, how ignorant you're coming off as, because you don't know to shop at cheaper places, because it's got the stigma of poor people shop there. This young lady went to the food bank. She had a smile on her face the whole fucking time, and she's excited, and she couldn't wait to get back to do the food haul. And she's doing the food haul, and she's showing potatoes and carrots, and there's some like grapes in there that should be thrown out, that most people would throw out, but she's like, grapes, I got grapes. She is so fucking grateful for absolutely every single thing that's in there, and it's such a relief to see. But she's got a shitload of assholes in her comments tearing her down, mocking her and saying, you don't deserve to be using the food bank. Look at you. You don't look like somebody who needs to use the food bank. Well, what the fuck are people supposed to look like? Like, what the fuck do people expect people who use the food bank to look like? Because I know some rich people who fell on fucking hard times, where they have no income coming in and they have to use the food bank. They're still in their big ass house, but they're selling shit to afford to pay bills and groceries. When you fall into poverty, it's not all at once you become this dirty, poor person. No, it's a slow fall from grace.
And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday.
So here's the difference between old poor and new poor. That one right there is considered new poor. Us OGs, us old poor, we were trained for moments like this, son. We were trained for this. We know how to make a meal stretch. We know how to clip coupons. We know how to dumpster dive. We know how to pick shit off the side of the street. That piece of furniture that looks fucked up, we take it, we fix it, we flip it, we sell it, we do whatever we can. We hustle. See, here's the difference between old poor and new poor. Old poor has perfected the skill of the hustle. Old poor does not let circumstances like this bring us down. Essentially speaking, from that video, old poor would have considered $300 in their pocket after every single fucking bill paid as a fucking win, home run, grand slam, you name it. We would have named it that, friend. That's the difference right now. See, newly poor people, you were probably part of the upper middle class or just right at that brim, that little edge right there. And right now you're feeling mad, insecure about money. It's not a good feeling. See, us OGs, we're used to that feeling. That don't faze us. We keep it moving. If a bill is due on the 15th and we know we got till the 20th, guess what? We're going to, in those 5 days, we are going to find a way to pay that bill so the lights don't get shut off, and we will pocket a few bucks just to put. Listen, there have been times that I've gone to the gas station when gas was like $3 and change and said, give me $15 on pump 3. So girl, brush yourself off. You're gonna be okay. I'm sure you got a lot of heat for that freaking video because I seen the stitched comments and all the other bullshit, but guess what?
You will not die. You just have to decide what you need versus what you want and make some adjustments. It's all about adjustments. It's all about shifting your perspective and moving shit around. My mom was the original OG of doing that. I still to this day do not know how she supported 2 kids, no child support, on a bank teller's job, salary, and we were never homeless. Thank God.
Today we bought our 1-year-old and 4-year-old their own cell phone.
If you guys haven't seen that video yet, basically the parents give their 4-year-old a brand new iPhone 15, but they can't use it until they turn 16. Their main reason for doing that is because of inflation, which makes absolutely no sense, and I think you guys can figure out why, but let me show you guys why just in case you don't get it. This is the iPhone 4S that launched around 12 years ago, which is around the same time that child would have to wait to get their brand new iPhone 15. Back when the iPhone 4S first launched, it launched for $649 for the base model iPhone 4S. That same phone is now $35 on eBay. Even if you kept the phone sealed for 12 years, you would only make $305 from the phone being sold, which means you'd still be losing around $350 from the phone's original purchase. Like, I'm genuinely so confused as to what they were thinking when they did this purchase, but they also bought the 4-year-old Tesla as well. But the Tesla's probably going to explode by the time the 4-year-old gets it, so I don't really know how it's going to work.
There's just a lot of people in this country who don't want to work, period.
The American government is run by demons. Pure, cold-blooded demons. You can't convince me otherwise. That woman, that hearing, that was about Americans working 40-hour work weeks and then overtime pay. And she's still saying that Americans don't work enough. I don't believe in heaven and hell. Like, that's not my thing. Like, I believe everybody, like, goes to a good place. I believe all souls, like, are here just trying to learn and, like, whatever. But I actually, like, these are moments where I actually am like, you know what? I get why Christians and Catholics like the idea of hell. Because when you don't like somebody, you're like, guess where you're gonna fucking go? Into a fiery inferno for the rest of eternity. Feels good. Feels good thinking that, you know? Helps you cope. But anyway, I would love it if almost everybody in the federal government just miraculously died. And then we had to start over. I feel like that would be great.
Being broke is 100% a choice, no matter who you are, no matter what your story is.
God damn, I almost had a brain aneurysm trying to figure out what the fuck she's talking about. Trying to figure out what the hell she's saying. It's harder than the bull elephant mating season. I don't know about you, but prices are going up. It's getting harder to eat the way I like to eat. Some days I skip meals entirely. That could be just my depression. Which brings up another fun fact. Many homeless people and broke people are that way because they have mental health issues. You do not choose to have mental health issues unless you're some weird ass fucking hypochondriac, but that's a health issue of its own. So it's just full fucking circle there. Either you're delusional or you're a parody. I don't know.
And wages for working families have gone up while inflation has come down 65%.
You should have been swallowed.